وأرسلناك للناس رسولا وكفى بالله حسيبا ومن يطع الرسول فقد أطاع الله ومن تولى فما أرسلناك عليهم حفيظا ويقولون طاعة فإذا برزوا من عندك بيت طائفة منهم غير الذي تقول والله يكتب ما يبيتون فأعرض عنهم وتوكل على الله وكفى بالله وكيلا أفلا يتدبرون القرآن ولو كان من عند غير الله لوجدوا فيه اختلافا كثيرا
ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونعوذ به من شرور انفسنا ومن سيئات اعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له واشهد ان لا اله الا الله وحده لا شريك له واشهد ان محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه وعلى اله وصحبه ومن والاه باحسان الى يوم الدين وبعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Today is 16th Ramadan 1427 after Hijrah, which is equivalent to the 5th of March 2026. And we are still in the Surah Nisa, the Tafsir of Surah Nisa. Yesterday we stopped at 78, verse 78. But because of the strong connection of that verse with verse 79, so I will just give us a recap of what we said yesterday about verse 78 of the Surah. Allah Ta'ala says, أينما تكونوا يدرككم الموت ولو كنتم في بروج مشيدة وإن تصيبهم حسنة يقولوا هذه من عند الله وإن تصيبهم سيئة يقولوا هذه من عندك قل كل من عند الله فما لهؤلاء القوم لا يكادون يفقهون حديثا. That wherever you may be, death will overtake you. And even if you should be within doors of lofty construction, you have experienced it. وَإِن تُصِبْهُمْ حَسَنَةٌ But if good comes to them, يَقُولُوا هَذِهِ مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ They say this is from Allah. So anything good, they try to associate it to Allah because they don't want the Holy Prophet to take the credit. They don't want them to take the credit. Anything that would be a praise to the Holy Prophet, and that will demonstrate the kind of miracle of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his messengerhood that Allah has also revered him. So they don't want anything that will just bring that thing out. So anything good coming to them, they will associate it directly with Allah. That you don't have any hand in that. But وَإِن تُصِبْهُمْ سَيِّئَةٌ If anything that is also to befall them like a musibah, so يَقُولُوا هَذِهِ مِنْ عِنْدِكَ Then they say that this is from you. قُلْ كُلٌّ مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ Say both are from Allah. فَمَا لِهَؤُلَاءِ الْقَوْمِ لَا يَكَادُونَ يَفْقَهُونَ So what is the matter with those people that they can hardly understand any statement? So this is one of the statements or one of the verses that is talking about the qadar and qada. And qada or qadar. So there is free will and there is also determination. So this is one of the verses that is talking about al-qada, that is determination. Everything happening was already determined and actually caused by Allah. He is the one who let that thing to happen. Without the wish of Allah, anything cannot happen in this world. Anything cannot happen in this world without the wish of Allah. But if evil befall them, they say this is from you, O Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. The scholars of Tafsir say when the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam migrated to Medina, they started experiencing some problems, and because they started experiencing those problems that are related to illnesses, then they try to associate it with the migration of the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Just like قالوا غيرنا بك ومن معك قال إنما رأيكم عند الله. So now they are trying to associate evil things with the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. But when they have any good habits or something like that, so they will say this is directly coming from Allah. Why are they not also associating it with your migration to Medina? Why only the bad thing, the evil things? Why is it that only the evil things they are associated? So tell them that both the good and the evil are from Allah. So therefore anything that happens, whether good or bad, is from Allah. Why? Because Allah is the creator. So that we should not confuse it with the verse 79, where Allah says,
ما أصابك من حسنة فمن الله وما أصابك من سيئة فمن نفسك وأرسلناك للناس رسولا وكفى بالله حسيبا.
ما أصابك من حسنة فمن الله. What comes to you of good is from Allah. وما أصابك من سيئة. But what comes to you of evil, O man, O Prophet Muhammad, is from yourself. وأرسلناك للناس رسولا, and I have sent you, O Muhammad, to the people as a messenger. وكفى بالله شهيدا, and sufficient is Allah as witness. So you see, you can think that there is a kind of contradiction between this verse 79 and the immediate verse 17, isn't it? Because Allah SWT in 78 says, both the good and evil are from what? From Allah. But here, you see, ما أصابك من حسنة, what comes to you of good is from Allah. وما أصابك من سيئة, and what comes to you of evil, فمن نفسك, is from yourself. In the other verse, he's saying goods are from Allah. In this verse, he's saying good is from Allah and the evil is from you, is from yourself. So what is the explanation of this? You see, by causal factor, Allah is the actual cause, isn't it? It happens by the will of Allah. That is the meaning of the previous verse. That both the good and the evil can only occur and happen by the will of Allah, by His own will. If Allah doesn't will, it will never happen, whether good or evil or bad. I hope you are getting it. So by the will of Allah, both the good and the bad are from Allah. But by the actual causal factor, that you are the one who caused something to happen as a reward of what you have done. That is the meaning of the verse 79. That whenever there is good, it is from Allah. It is the mercy and blessing of Allah to give you what He has given you. But whenever any kind of evil befalls you as a man, even though it's referring to the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, but the meaning here is to the entire people. So any evil is from yourself. It's just like the saying of Allah in Surah Shura, ما أصاب من مصيبة فبما كسبت أيديكم ويعفو عن كثير. That if there is any musibah that strikes you, any disaster striking you, فبما كسبت أيديكم, it's as a result, as a reward of what your hand has committed, even you. So it's a reward of that. It's punishment of what you have committed wrong. So that's the meaning of wama asabaka bisayyati nafsi. Whatever, and that is why they say Zulu will always arm you displeasure in the Most Allah is saying that wama asabaka bisayyati nafsi. If you want to be displeased, you understand in your life, so that you don't have pleasure in whatever you are doing, you will be sad, you are not happy, so you should check yourself. You should check yourself. Because whenever you are committing sins and evil doings, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to test you and is going to find you and strike you with a number of disasters. So that you will be having very good GP, results, and the life will be very difficult for you. Because when you are doing Allah's instruction, so Allah is going to reward you with kind of happiness in your soul. Just like even the Greek philosophers before, one of them was even saying that evil is the source of displeasure in the soul. He was not even taken from the religious point of view. But he said that whenever you do something wrong, that it will haunt you, whether directly or indirectly, it will haunt you. So it's just like the law of karma, isn't it? That the law of karma, whatever you do wrong, that the result of that thing, the consequence of that thing is going to haunt you. Therefore, everywhere you find yourself, try to do good. Don't look at the reward you are going to get. Even for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make your life happy. You know, there are sometimes there will be a time where you will just wake up and you start just feeling happy. But then you are just in a happy mood. You don't even know the reason. Nobody gives you anything, but you just find yourself very good. And sometimes you also find yourself very bad mood. Just feel very sad, and you can't even say this is the reason. So therefore, Allah has several ways of rewarding you, whether directly or indirectly. So وَمَا أَصَابَكُم مِّن مُّصِيبَةٍ فَبِمَا كَسَبَتْ أَيْدِيكُم وَيَعْفُو عَن كَثِيرٍ. Even though Allah used to overlook many things we have committed, and it means that any evil you have committed, Allah is going to punish you for that. That means that your life in this world is going to be very difficult. Because Allah used to overlook, and that's why sometimes you are just falling with the sickness, or lost in property, lost in lives, Sometimes you fall sick, you report accidents or something like that. So, that evil is from yourself. Allah is testing you because of the wrong things you have committed. وَأَرْسَلْنَاكَ لِلنَّاسِ رَسُولًا. And we have sent you, O Muhammad, to the people as a messenger. وَكَفَى بِاللَّهِ شَهِيدًا. Sufficient is Allah as a witness. Allah is sufficient as a witness. Even if they didn't trust you, they didn't believe in you, they didn't accept your message, Allah is a witness that you have really delivered the message. So don't worry about them.
من يطع الرسول فقد أطاع الله ومن تولى فما أرسلناك عليهم حفيظا.
So when it comes to the free will and determination, where there are different schools of thoughts, some are saying that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't know what is happening, subhanAllah. That anything that happens is not by the will of Allah. Why? Because they think that they are exonerating Allah from evil things. So whatever you have done wrong is to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't have any hand in it. Why they are thinking that if it is by the will of Allah, then why should you be punished for that? How do you put it? That is the satanic inspiration and teaching of them. Just like saying you are performing in a film, and this one is the actor, this is one of the boss, isn't it? And the actor is always acting as a good person, while the boss is always acting as an evil man, isn't it? So now after the film, after that movie, so why should you punish the boss? Because as a director, you are the one who has written the script and you only acted according to the script. How are you getting it? So that's why some people have it very difficult to believe in the qadar. Believing in the qadar, they think that why should Allah punish you for what He has already caused to happen? But now the verse is trying to tell you the reason, isn't it? That one, both are from Allah. But the other one is as a result of the sin you committed. That's why Allah is punishing you. Because He has given you that free will to act. You can act according to a free will. Now that you are going to church, who is forcing you to go to the church? If you want to change and you want to convert to the Muslim, who is going to stop you? If you want to stop the zina today, who is going to force you that you must go and commit zina? Isn't it? So that is the reason and that's the basis why Allah is punishing you for that. Because He has also sent down messengers and they have warned you, and some people has heeded to the advice to the warning, while you also deliberately you refuse. And Allah is punishing you because of that. So that is the justification. When you hear Rasul faqad ata Allah, he who obeys the messenger has obeyed Allah. Obeying the messenger is obeying Allah. Why? Because the messenger is simply delivering the message from Allah. So he is only a messenger. He is not the initiator of the message. Who is the initiator of the message? It is Allah. So it's just like the court sending its staff to go and summon you. So when you answer, you didn't answer that person. You answer the court. Even the judge will say you answer the court, isn't it? And when you refuse, then you disobey. Who? Is it the messenger you disobey? It is the court you disobey. So the same thing, when you disobey the Holy Prophet, you are simply disobeying Allah. And when you obey the Holy Prophet, you are obeying Allah. You see in another tradition that my example and the example of you, the followers, is just like the example of someone who was set to invite people to a very big house which was built by someone. So the house was built and the owner of the house sent you. Say, look at those people, go and invite them, let them come in, there is a dinner I have prepared for them. Let them come so that they eat from the dinner. So you say, whoever answered me will go and what? Enjoy that dinner. And whoever disobeyed me will not what? Will not enjoy the dinner. So Allah has built a paradise. And He sent down His messengers to tell you these are the ways, this is the path to the paradise. Follow it so that you go to the paradise. So if you obey them, you are obeying Allah and they are leading you to the paradise. And if you disobey and you refuse, then you are also denying yourself that paradise and whatever Allah has prepared there. وَمَنْ تَوَلَّى فَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ عَلَيْهِمْ حَسِيبًا. Hafiza, for those who turn away from Arsalnaka alayhim, Hafiza, we have not sent you over them as a guardian. Yours is simply to deliver the message, that's the only thing. إنما أنت مذكر لست عليهم بمسيطر إلا من تولى وكفر فإنما عليك البلاغ وعلينا الإحسان ما على الرسول إلا البلاغ. So the only thing, the role of the Prophet is simply to deliver. And that is why one Benita was saying, Protein person, if you like, you believe, if you don't like, you disbelieve. Isn't it? So, but is always like, isn't it? But as a preacher, yes, of course, it's all the same when it comes to the consequence to you. But any creator will want you to accept and to yield to the admonition, isn't it? So that you will enter the paradise. Now,
ويقولون طاعة فإذا برزوا من عندك بيت طائفة منهم غير الذي تقول والله يكتب ما يبيتون فأعرض عنهم وتوكل على الله وكفى بالله وكيلا.
ويقولون طاعة and they say with great obedience. For instance, if they come to you, they will tell you that I told that we have great obedience to you. Just command us and instruct us, we are going to obey, we are going to follow. وَإِذَا بَرَزُوا مِنْ عِنْدِكَ But when they leave you, they now go away from you. بَيَّةَ طَائِفَةٌ مِنْهُمْ غَيْرَ الَّذِي A group of them spend their life determining to do other than what they say. So they will go there and they will act contrary to what they promise you, what they say in your presence. After they have placed their allegiance, their obedience to you, they will go and act otherwise in your absence. So that is an act of hypocrisy. And that is the munafiqun. And they are the ones that are being referred to in this verse. وَاللَّهُ يَكْتُبُ مَا يُبَيِّتُونَ But Allah records what they plan by night. Whatever they think they are planning, even they think it is by night, so nobody is witnessing that, nobody is aware of that. Allah is aware of that and He is recording it. Even though they are doing it by night, hour, or they are doing it secretly, confident, sharing, whatever it is. Allah is aware of it and He is also recording it. Wallahu yaktubu ma yubayyitun. فَأَعْرِضْ عَنْهُمْ So leave them alone. Don't bother about them, leave them alone. فَأَعْرِضْ عَنْهُمْ وَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ And rely upon Allah. Because they cannot harm you in anything. Let them continue floating. Let them continue having their evil plans in the night, secretly, anywhere they can hold that meeting, secretly. So how you allow Allah says, وَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ Rely upon Allah. وَكَفَى بِاللَّهِ وَكِيلًا And sufficient is Allah and disposer of affairs. You can give Him the disposer of affairs. So like I say, this verse is invited. Allah is holding what they are promoting against the Prophet ﷺ when they are acting contrary to what they have pledged before him. Now,
أفلا يتدبرون القرآن ولو كان من عند غير الله لوجدوا فيه اختلافا كثيرا.
أفلا يتدبرون القرآن Then do they not reflect upon the Quran? ولو كان من عند غير الله If it had been from any other than Allah لوجدوا فيه اختلافا كثيرا They would have found in it much contradictions. Much contradiction with it, and it is from any other than Allah. But let them reflect in the Quran. At-tadabbur wa tafakkur, they are almost similar. The only difference between tafakkur and tadabbur is tafakkur is looking at the beginning of things, the futuristic, and the tadabbur is looking at the consequence, of that thing. So, because any good thing will have a very good end. Don't you see, even in movies, you see the actor will be oppressed, isn't it? But at the end, then the boss is going to be defeated, isn't it? Sometimes he will be killed, sometimes he will be arrested or something like that. And this one will be acting as a hero. So that is how good things always end. They have good end. So that is at-tadabbur, looking at the aim of things. أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ they not reflect upon the Quran. So the essence of sending the Quran is for you to reflect on it, not just to read it, recite it without a reflection. When you reflect over it, then you come to understand that the Quran is full of wisdom and miracles. That's when you understand the miracle and wisdom of the Quran. Grammatical construction, they say, وَلَوْ كَانَ مِنْ عِنْدِ غَيْرِ اللَّهِ, if it had been from any other than Allah, they would have found within it much contradiction. Contradiction in the construction itself. You will find some verses well constructed, and you will find some verses very weak in terms of grammatical construction and all that. When we look at the Quran entirely from beginning to the end, it has a very good logical construction. Unlike other books, when you look at there are some contradiction in them. Some verses, the Jesus himself will be talking. Some verses, someone will be talking about the Jesus. Some verses, they will be giving you stories, somebody else will be giving you stories. Some verses, it's like the whole directly is communicated to the Jesus. So it lacks that coherence, in it. But that's not the case with the Quran. And if they look at the Quran also, Quran is always giving stories of the earlier people, earlier nations before us. Right from the time of Adam alayhi salam, time of Hud, Saleh, Shu'aib, and many previous nations. Quran has given us their stories. It also has given the story of something that is going to happen in the future. Just like the saying of Allah, Alif Lam Mim, غُلِبَتِ الرُّومُ فِي أَدْنَى الْأَرْضِ وَهُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ غَلَبِهِمْ سَيَغْلِبُونَ. So you see, this one is talking about the future. Just like the Surah Isra, Allah says, وَقَضَيْنَا إِلَى بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ فِي الْكِتَابِ لَتُفْسِدُنَّ فِي الْأَرْضِ مَرَّتَيْنِ وَلَتَعْمَلُنَّ عُلُوًّا كَبِيرًا فَإِذَا جَاءَ وَعْدُ أُولَاهُمَا وَأَخْذْنَا عَلَيْكُمْ عِبَادًا لَنَا أُولِي بَأْسٍ شَدِيدٍ فَجَاسُوا خِلَالَ الدِّيَارِ وَكَانَ وَعْدًا مَفْعُولًا ثُمَّ رَدَدْنَا لَكُمُ الْكَرَّةَ عَلَيْهِمْ وَأَمْدَدْنَاكُم بِأَمْوَالٍ وَبَنِينَ وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ أَكْثَرَ نَفِيرًا إِنْ أَحْسَنْتُمْ أَحْسَنْتُمْ لِأَنفُسِكُمْ وَإِنْ أَسَأْتُمْ فَلَهَا فَإِذَا جَاءَ وَعْدُ الْآخِرَةِ لِيَسُوءُوا وُجُوهَكُمْ وَلْيَدْخُلُوا الْمَسْجِدَ كَمَا دَخَلُوهُ أَوَّلَ مَرَّةٍ وَلْيُتَبِّرُوا مَا أَمَرُوا بِهِ. So you see, this one is speaking to the Bani Israel that they are going to be defeated. They will later also take the defeat, and for the second time also they will be defeated, and they are going to be also forced out of their houses. So it's telling about the mustaq, about the future, what is going to happen. And that will also happen according to the way Allah has stated it in the Quran. So that is ilm al-ghayb. Allah is telling us about it. And we also talk about many rulings that were not in the previous scripture. You find them in the Quran. Several rules, several decrees in the Quran. The do's and don'ts, in the Quran. So all these ones, and you find no contradiction. So if you talk about al-nasikh wal-mansukh, when Allah SWT abrogates some verses, when we were doing the Tafsir of Surah Baqarah, Allah says, مَا نَسْتَغْ مِنْ آيَةٍ أَوْ نُنْسِهَا نَأْتِ بِخَيْرٍ مِنْهَا أَوْ مِثْلِهَا أَلَمْ تَعْلَمْ أَنَّ اللَّهَ عَلَىٰ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. That whenever Allah SWT abrogated a given verse, that He will come with another one which is far better than that one in terms of wisdom, in terms of ease, in terms of reward, and in terms of several things. So there are verses which recitation is still in the Holy Quran, but the ruling has been abrogated, isn't it? There are some where the recitation is not there, but the ruling is there, isn't it? And there are some which recitation and the ruling has entirely been abrogated, so you don't recite them, and the ruling also is no more in force. So this one, there is no any contradiction, because the other verse is saying this, the other verse is saying that. Like the saying of Allah Ta'ala in Surah Baqarah, والذين يتوفون منكم ويذرون أزواجا يتربصن بأنفسهن 4 أشهر وعشرة. So when you continue, you will see another verse similar to it. Say, والذين يتوفون منكم ويذرون أزواجا وصية لأزواجهم متاعا إلى الحول غير إخراج. This one is saying that if their husband died, they should stay for 1 year, isn't it? And the other verse, the preceding verse, is saying that if your husband died, that you should observe that idda, isn't it, of 4 months and 10 days. 4 أشهر وعشرة. So now you may think that there's a contradiction, isn't it? So the first one abrogated the last one. Even though in terms of the citation, you decide the first one, you may think that the other one needs to come. That is wasiyatan li azwajin mata'ina, because it was the one that was been blessed. But that is not the way Allah Subhanahu has arranged it. So that's why I always give the hadith, you know, the tradition of the Holy Prophet for you to be able to understand the Quran. Otherwise, there is no way you can be able to understand the Quran without the hadith and the teaching and explanations of the Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And some of them that are claiming that they are following Quran, and when they talk, you understand that they don't even understand what the hadith is. Yes, because somebody said he was quoting, he said there's a hadith in Al-Bukhari where it was said that the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam died while he has given his weapons, you understand, to 1 year old. You know? So, as a man, yeah. But now she said, so when the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has already died, then why are they calling it the hadith again? Well, he forgot that hadith is referring to the act of the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So this one is simply reporting the act of the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam before he died. And that's why it is a hadith. So if you are challenging this, it means that you don't even understand the concept, the term hadith itself. What is the meaning of the term hadith? Yeah.
وإذا جاءهم أمر من الأمن أو الخوف أذاعوا به ولو ردوه إلى الرسول وإلى أولي الأمر منهم لعلمه الذين يستنبطونه منهم ولولا فضل الله عليكم ورحمته لاتبعتم الشيطان إلا قليلا فقاتل في سبيل الله لا تكلف إلا نفسك وحرض المؤمنين عسى الله أن يكف بأس الذين كفروا والله أشد بأسا وأشد تنكيلا.
وإذا جاءهم أمر من الأمن أو الخوف أذاعوا به. When there comes to them something that is information about public security, you know, the Amr and the Khawfi about public security or fear, أذاعوا به, they spread it around. ولو ردوه إلى الرسول, but if they had referred it back to the messenger وإلى أولي الأمر منهم and to those of authority among them, لا علمه الذين يستنبطونه منهم, then the ones who can draw correct conclusions from it will have known about it. لا علمه الذين يستنبطونه ولولا فضل الله عليكم ورحمته, and if not for the favor of Allah upon you and His mercy, you will have followed Satan except for a few. The verse is referring also to the Munafiqun who used to publicize issues concerning public security, concerning fear. They spread it as a rule about whenever there is a riot sent by the Holy Prophet combating a group of soldiers, so they will try to, when they hear anything, they will try to separate it. Behind that, they reported severe casualties. they were defeated. No? So they will start separating it because that is the information, that is the news they want to hear. It's just like what is happening now between US forces and Iranian forces, isn't it? So any side you hear, the other ones will just try to suppress the success of the other party. And they will be exaggerating their own successes. So that is what they used to do. When they hear anything negative, they will exaggerate it. If 7 people are killed as material, they say, 70 people, 70 people are killed. Among the companions of the Holy Prophet. And when the Muslim army also succeeded and they recorded victory, so they will also try to minimize the success. They will reduce to say, if they kill 70, they say they kill 7 people, they kill 10 people. Isn't it? So that people, because they are not happy with the success of the Holy Prophet. ولو ردوه إلى الرسول وإلى أولي الأمر منهم لأعلمهم الذين يستكبرون. If they had referred it back to the messenger or to those of authority among them, then the ones who can draw correct conclusions of it will have known about it. So let's assume the person is not even a hypocrite. When you hear anything negative, instead of you to go and spread it as a true believer, why can't you refer it to the messenger? You go there, you inquire, you find out, you authenticate, you confirm. So the same thing with the rumors that is going on now. Many of us on the social media platform, whenever they see news, they will quickly share it and spread it. They will share it and spread it quickly on the Facebook, on the social media platform like Instagram, like TikTok, you understand? So they will be spreading the rumors without authenticating the information. Is it true? Is the news true? So otherwise we will end up sharing and spreading lies. So that's why you see people separating more than people who are still alive. They say RIP. Oh, subhanallah. You now say also you share it. I saw it, and the brother so person is dead. There was a time when this radio rumor about the days of one of teachers. So I called him. I called the number when I hear that to confirm, find out. Because I have his number. So when I called and the call was answered. And to my surprise, because he was very sick, the voice was very down, and I was told that he was already late. So I said, who is communicating? Who did what? That was the first question he asked me. He said, well, you also told that I am dead. He said, I'm sorry, sir. I say, okay, from the way you are communicating, I know that you are having that feeling in you. That you didn't believe your ears that I'm the one who's having your phone. Isn't it? So that's how you see sometimes, many times you see on the social media, RIP. RIP, that's so person, rest in peace. When you find out the person will just tell you that he's still alive. So, and several issues like that. You see several stories, several informations and news that are not true. Sometimes they will be even replicating and reposting some issues that happened 10 years back. Or getting to 20 years, something of 2003 or 2006, they can repost it in 2026. I think this is happening now. When it happened 20 years ago. So if you are not good, sometimes you find it very difficult to understand. That's why sometimes you need to use your number 6 to understand. Somebody sent me a picture that they say this is the picture of Sheikh Usman before you. I say I used to. If you are sending a picture of Sheikh Usman with something like this now, for what's the when did they started seeing clothes like this in Hausa? Isn't it? In the history of Hausa, when did they started having this kind of dress? mode of dressing. Is that not enough to just tell you that this picture is it's not true? How you are getting it? But you just get one old man. It's Sheikh Usman. Is there any camera inside? So how did you get this picture? Yeah? So some are saying that Umar radiallahu anhu was passing in the mosque and he made people circulating rumor that the Holy Prophet has divorced his wives. And you know, the Holy Prophet is also married to his biological daughter. So he rushed to the house of the Holy Prophet. He said, Ya Rasulullah, is it true that you have divorced your wives? He said, when? So Umar radiallahu turned back to the mosque and said, listen, all you people, the Holy Prophet did not divorce his wife. So that is how they spread the rumor. Sometimes the rumor is simply to weaken you as a holy believer. That Islam is losing. Islam is losing, so it's not a religion to go by. وَلَوْلَا فَضْلُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ. And if not for the favor of Allah, only by His mercy, لَاتَّبَعْتُمُ الشَّيْطَانَ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. You have followed Satan except for the very few among you. So do not spread the rumor. And all these videos that are being released by the bandits, you understand, you see them oppressing some people, isn't it? And you just go ahead and start sharing. What do they say of sharing that? You don't just feel free and bad for them. You may think that you are trying to draw the attention of people so that they will contribute money to religious, and that is exactly what I'm looking for. So it's not any news, any information you see on the social media that will just go ahead and share it and spread the news. It's not good. Don't say always you want to bring a breaking news. You will be bringing breaking lies to the people instead of breaking news, isn't it? Allah says, "Faqatil fi sabilillah." So fight with Muhammad because of Allah. La tukallafu illa nafsak. You are not held responsible except for yourself. Allah will not going to hold you responsible for what other people are doing. إنما أنت مذكر لست عليهم مسيطر. Fight in the cause of Allah. لا تكلف إلا نفسك. وحبب المؤمنين أن encourage the believers to join you. أسأل الله أن يكف بأس الذين كفروا ويبعث الله فإن will strengthen the military might of those who disbelieve. وكفى بالله والله أشد بأسا وأشد تنكيلا. Allah is greater in might, stronger in exemplary conditions. So tell that you should fight in the cause of Allah. The Holy Prophet ﷺ was trying to ask people to go to Badr al-Asghar to face the troops of Abu Sufyan. And they were very weak. They didn't want to go. So when he saw them with that, Allah asked him to fight in the cause of Allah, even if he is going to fight alone. That la tukallaf illa nafsa. You are not held responsible except for yourself. And he is swear by Allah that wallahi I will be facing them even if I am going to stand as in one last man standing. I am going to fight them. And when they understand that the Holy Prophet truly means what he said, then many of them later joined him. Like Abu Bakr, like Umar, and up to several people among them. They joined the Prophet. The same thing happened to Abu Bakr Siddiq when he was trying to fight those people who said they are not going to give zakat. You know, after the days of the Holy Prophet Allah SWT said in Surah Tawbah, خُذْ مِنْ أَمْوَالِهِمْ صَدَقَةً تُطْهِرُهُمْ وَتُزَكِّيهِمْ بِهَا وَتُصَلِّي عَلَيْهِمْ. That the Holy Prophet should collect sadaqah from them. So when he died, they said, too, Quran said the Holy Prophet should collect from us. Now that he is dead, so who else is going to collect the sadaqah? So we are not going to give zakah. Already they don't want to give it, isn't it? So they are just looking for an excuse. So they say it is the Holy Prophet whom Allah said should collect this sadaqah. You should collect. So he is no more. He has died. That's all. Then who else are we going to give our sadaqah to? Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu, you must give it to the authority, to the government. You know? Otherwise, I'm going to fight you, even if I will be facing you alone. Because some are saying, why should you fight people who are saying they are Muslims? Because of that. Say, I will fight them, because anybody who separates between Salah and Zakah, then he is not a true believer. And I will set button against them. And when they understand that also Abu Khaleel is fully prepared for that, then they follow him and better and competence without any option. So Allah says, La tukallaf illa nafsa. La tukallaf here is khabar, but meaning al-amr, meaning command. It's a statement. In the meaning, it means a command. La tukallaf illa nafsa. That you are not also to force anybody what you are saying. How we are doing. And there is also the fact, La nukallifu illa nafsa. That Allah is always forcing and is always going to hold you responsible alone. Just like La yukallifu Allahu nafsan illa wus'aha. So you are the only one who Allah is going to hold responsible. Provided you have done your best, then Allah is not going to hold you accountable for other people's action. La tukallafu illa nafsan. Wa hadidil mu'minina. But you encourage the believers to join. Even though you are only responsible for yourself, just still you encourage the believers to join. Asallahu ayyukum fa ba'sa alladhina kafaru, that perhaps Allah will destroy the military mind of those who misbelieve by casting fear in their hearts, because that is the beginning of failure. Once you have that fear, you are defeated. Once you have the fear, you are defeated. So Allah says, سَنُلْقِي فِي قُلُوبِ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا الرُّعْبَ بِمَا أَشْرَكُوا بِاللَّهِ مَا لَمْ يُنَزِّلْ بِهِ. If someone is afraid of you, whenever he sees you, you will just lose courage to fight, isn't it? And by losing courage, whatever you do, you may even run away, isn't it? And when you strike him, he can fall down and run out, because he already believes that he cannot face you, cannot withstand. They have a mighty, you understand, army and weaponry. But still, the Holy Prophet ﷺ said he was also helped with that book. Whenever he's facing an army, Allah is going to cast fear in them. And they think that they are fighting people who are not after their lives. They came out. فَيُقُتَ الْأَوْلِيَةَ لِبِتْ فَسَوْفَ نُؤْتِهِ أَجْرًا عَظِيمًا. And you know that they are interested in their own life. But these people, this army, they are not interested. They are not after their life. So therefore they will have that fear to face the Muslim army. So that's why Allah says, Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Wallahu ashaddu ba'san. Allah is greater in might, wa ashaddu takila, and also stronger in exemplary punishment, to the extent when he punishes some people will take example from that. That since he defeated so people, that those people not even guessing. So Allah is giving example with those people by punishing them. Now,
من يشفع شفاعة حسنة يكن له نصيب منها ومن يشفع شفاعة سيئة يكن له كفء منها وكان الله على كل شيء مقيتا.
من يشفع شفاعة, whoever intercedes for a good cause, يكون له نصيب منها, will have a share of reward from it. ومن يشفع شفاعة سيئة, whoever intercedes for an evil cause, يكون له كفء منها, will have a portion of burden therefrom. وكان الله على كل شيء مقيتا, and Allah is ever over all things a keeper. He is keeping records, he is keeping account of whatever is happening, is going on. Yeah? So intercession here for a good cause, we say it's intercession for something that when you see people in a problem, you try to intercede for them, to help them out of that. So that is intercession. do it. That is in accordance to the teachings of the Quran and Hadith, without also collecting any reward for it. Because there is what's called an akal bidini wal akal bishafa'ati. You cannot see people in trouble in danger and you say, okay, I'm going to help you out, but conditionally you are going to give him something like it. So you cannot help him out of the danger he found himself unless he is going to pay you. He falls in a dome hole like that, isn't it? Yeah? And he fell in a river. He was looking for help. Say 100,000. I will bring you out of this river. But 100,000. You understand? You will pay me 50,000 or 20,000. Oh, you understand? You have to do it for the sake of Allah. They had an accident. Okay, I will take you. But you know, I'm using my vehicle. You understand? You have to pay me to take you to Udut for treatment. You cannot do that. It's haram. How do you do it? So whenever you see your friend or somebody in a state of problem or difficulty, you have to do it. Any help, any assistance you are rendering, you do it for the sake of Allah. You can't take anything from that. That is when you share shafa'at. You will have a reward from it. وَمَنْ يَشْفَعَ شَفَاعَةً سَيِّئَةً. And whoever intercedes for an evil cause, يَقُلْ لَهُ كِفْلٌ مِنْهَا, will have a portion of burden from it. So if you collect anything, it is shafa'at sayyi'ah. And there is also a shafa'at sayyi'ah when somebody committed an offense, and you want to intercede on his behalf. He stole and he was arrested, and you want to go and intercede on his behalf. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that one is shafa'at sayyi'ah. So that's why in tradition, the Holy Prophet said that the Holy Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has used three different people. لَعَنَ اللَّهُ مَنْ لَعَنَ وَالِدَيْهِ، لَعَنَ اللَّهُ مَنْ ذَبَحَ لِغَيْرِ اللَّهِ، لَعَنَ اللَّهُ مَنْ أَوَى مُحْدِثًا. This, the last one, مَنْ أَوَى مُحْدِثًا, is someone who intercedes for a criminal, like what the politicians are doing. You see an area boy, you just go and just attack people.
That's Nigeria.
Yes, they will attack innocent people because of the differences in political. You understand? Then they will select it. And they will be arrested. And they will ask the police to release them. If you release, those are our boys, please release them. That's in the Quran. The directive given to the police or the security agency, or given to the judge himself. Even if they are taken to the court, they will go and see the court, they will even call him. So these are just political problems. But then why is he? You understand? Why is he attacking people? Because of the differences in politics. Why? Destroying their properties. Why setting their houses ablaze? Because of political difference, I will say that they should be released. Then who is going to pay? But that property lost. How do you explain this? And that's why you see the politics is turning to do or die. And how do you get a politician who doesn't have those area voice? And we have to take into this. That is one of the problems I'm seeing in the Nigerian politics. No matter how our scholars want to join it, we are not thinking. If they think, well, nobody can join this kind of politics. You say you are sheikh, you are imam, you want to join this. And you will end up having your own tools. Why? Because if you don't have them, somebody will come and attack you. And Satan will tell you that you need to also have your tools so that they will defend you, isn't it? And you can't stop them from taking intoxicant, isn't it? Because they have to take it. And you have to sponsor that, give them money for that. Otherwise, people just go and attack you in your house, in your car. If you don't have those tools, the other party, if you rely on the security agencies, where are they? What will they be? Especially when you are not in the side of the government may just decide to withdraw its security. And you are left with who? was only the talks. How we are getting it? So all these implications, some people are not looking at them. And I'm happy that I heard from one prominent scholar, isn't it? He said that you are as a scholar is to teach. Is to teach. If you are doing it for the sake of Allah, go and teach people. If you want to join politics, please go and join politics. But that's no way you can join it. It's not possible. We are just deceiving ourselves. And this is a bitter truth. We have to tell ourselves the truth, whether we like it or not. With the sponsors of other people, there are some good people, isn't it? When they do that, nobody will say that Sheikh is also having his own talks, isn't it? Yeah? But if you think that you can be fair, there are fair people who they are not even religious at all. Last time I was telling you about a Christian woman born again, isn't she? Muslim. But everybody knows that she is very fair. It's very fair. She's very just. So there are people who are not religious, but they are very just. Like that. But they don't have that religious aspect in them. So if you want that, if you is justice you want, you just be happy. But if you are teaching people, so you should be contented with what Allah has given you. Your own position is to teach. And if those in the government have done something wrong, you should also be bold enough to look at their face and tell them that this is wrong. When you go there, they won't tell you that you are wrong. When people talk about you, they will say that they are trying to attack religion. How we are getting this? So all these things are very important to understand. Now, so that's when you shafa'at and say don't ever intercede. Don't ever interfere. Don't ever go in between the court and the criminal. Allow them to understand. Allow them, because now it's very difficult to be a judge, isn't it? Because you see a number of cases and you cannot know. Because there are a lot of vested interests which will act and they will have a way of dismissing you, or they will move you to the last seat. So we are not going to protect us.
وإذا حييتم بتحية فحيوا بأحسن منها أو ردوها إن الله كان على كل شيء حسيبا الله لا إله إلا هو ليجمعنكم إلى يوم القيامة لا ريب فيه ومن أصدق من الله حديثا.
Because of the time factor, it's better we stop here because the time has already gone. So tomorrow, inshallah, we will continue from verse 86. Allah subhanahu accept what we have done. It's good. And we forgive our shortcomings. Allah subhanahu accept us, free us from the hellfire in this holy month.